Hi guys, back again with another review. Today, well, you guessed it, here with a review for the new Athearn Genesis SD70M flared radiators. So you're probably wondering, what do you get in the box? Well, let's take a look. So obviously you have your regular Athearn cardboard sleeve for shipping, which they really tightened up this run. It's not as loose, you have to really pull it off. And of course you have your Athearn Genesis, your metallic gold and blue Athearn Genesis box. Sorry for the glare there. And take the lid off. And if you've watched my CN-SD70 video, I talk about the differences of the new Athearn Genesis versus the old Athearn Genesis, but inside you have your handling and maintenance, things like that, where to lubricate. Then you move on to your DCC and sound. You have your list of volume controls, and then you have all your configuration values for sound, so on and so forth. And then you have your warranty on the back. You also have your Athearn Genesis warranty mail sheet to send in to them. Then there is the SD70/75 series diesel locomotive exploded parts diagram. So right here, I was noticing that they have all four models. They have the 75i, the 70, excuse me, the 75i, and the 70Ms down here. And that's the whole parts diagram you get with it. Whole bunch of stuff, and then another warranty sheet, and sign up for Athearn newsletter, all that paperwork. Let's move on to the next. Well, when you have this little tiny foam sheet, you move that, and here's the engine. Block the glare there. Anyway, here's the engine in its box. Typical Athearn packaging with the about half-inch foam surrounding it, and you take it out. Plastic sleeve, rest of your box, and move the plastic sleeve. Styrofoam. And there you have it. Now they have their typical interlocking plastic sheet there. You have some more protective sleeving to protect the paint. And you have your styrofoam on the side here. And same on this side. So there it is, right out of the box, guys. Let's take a closer look at it. So here's just a closer up shot from the side. I'll let you guys take a close look at it, and we'll get into the details shortly. So starting at the nose, you can see there is the MU cable and receptacles, train line hose below the coupler there, and MU cables on either side of the coupler. It is also equipped with a plastic McHenry coupler. The ditch lights are operational. There's also nice hand railing here. A little bit flimsy, but that's typical for most manufacturers. a hand railing, goes all the way down, American style steps, separately applied grab irons on the nose, sanding hatch on either side, as well as other separately applied grab irons on the nose. There's also the high headlight, which is operational, and the number boards are not operational. They are not backlit, but the number is very crisp and legible. Another thing you might notice is that the windows are tinted, just like the prototype. We'll get a better side view, but the cab windows on the side are also tinted. There's also windshield wipers and another separately applied grab iron on the roof. Taking a look at the side now, you can see that all 4 windows are tinted. There's a sunshade up above, as well as a etched metal mirror. Below that is the numbers, which are very crisp and neatly printed. Over here are the battery box covers, and above that is the dynamic brake intake grill, and up above, which we'll take a closer look at later, is the dynamic brake exhaust grill. Taking a look at the middle of the locomotive, there's another grill up above there, as well as a blower housing here. You have your Union Pacific American flag right in the middle, which is very neatly printed and very crisp and defined. And a little harder to see with the flag there, but there are quite a few access panels. Up above, again, we'll take a closer look at it later, is the horn. And let's move on to the next. So at the end of the locomotive here, you can see a grill, some more access panels rather, and what this locomotive is named for is its flared radiators here, and we'll look at it at a different angle and explain about what that's all about. At the back of the locomotive, you can see the MU cable and MU receptacle. There's a spare coupler on either side, a McHenry coupler, an MU cable, and the train line is on the other side of this coupler here. You also have your backup light, which is operational, lots of separately applied grab irons, as well as a separately applied railing and chain. You have some lift rings on either side of the radiators, and for those of you who don't know what a flared radiator looks like, it's half of what a normal radiator looks like, and I'll show you what a normal radiator looks like. Now here's one of my other Union Pacific locomotives. This is a SD70AC on the right, and then the flared unit is right here. Even though they're 2 different locomotives, all the radiators are about the same. So if you can't spot the difference between the radiators, I don't know what to say. But what I will say is that the flared radiators are about half of what a normal radiator looks like. So stepping back now, you can see that the handrail runs the entire length of the locomotive, all the way to the American styled stairs. The handrails obviously aren't the sturdiest, they are flimsy, but for me, I'd much rather have a flimsy railing rather than a very stiff and brittle rail. So if I do accidentally hit it, it'll just bend in like so. But that's typical for Athearn, which can be a bad and good thing, but they seem to be pretty well secured into the side of the locomotive. Now here's a bird's eye view of the cab. You can see on the nose there is 4 separately applied grab irons, 2 sand hatches on either side. There's also a separately applied grab iron on the roof, a GPS dome, and a Sinclair antenna. and you can also see the sunshades a little bit better. And as I said before, here is the dynamic brake exhaust grill on the top. I think that's molded plastic, not too sure. I don't believe it's etched metal. From what I understand, it's not, but I may be wrong. Here you can see some lift rings, another grill, a turbo exhaust stack, a horn, and some more fans down here, which we'll take a closer look at. And here you can see the late 48-inch fan set with a bunch of little lines and air hoses running to it, and around that it's encased in is the fan hatch, as well as some lift rings on the flared radiator units, and I believe, and some more separately applied grab irons and sand hatch. As for trucks, there is a jack stand, a bell, numerous air and fluid lines running below, brake cylinders, brake shoes, a speed recorder, and all the other details that you regularly see on Athearn Genesis models. This unit also features a 5,000 gallon fuel tank. It also has an emergency stop button here, an electronic fuel gauge, and a air reservoir. One thing I almost missed was this air dryer prime right here, and there's another jack stand and more details on the trucks from Athearn Genesis. Flipping it around now, let's just take a closer look at some of the other details that aren't transferred to the other side. Now, there are a lot of similarities, like this dynamic brake intake grill. The windows on the side are also tinted. The numbering is also crisp, legible, and is neatly printed. Another grill up above. More access panels on the side of the locomotive. And again, flared radiators up above, the 2-panel, and a manual brake and brake housing, as well as some more access panels. Some other features that I did not cover for this locomotive is the cab is a standard M cab, and all of the printing on the sides, all the warning labels, all the little itty bitty decals are clear and legible under magnification. And it also features the low snow plow, and this engine is era of 2002. So let's take a look at the sound, shall we? So let's listen to the startup sequence. Now it's quite apparent right out of the box that it is very loud, so let me go ahead and turn down the sound. So now that I've turned down the sound on this locomotive, let's listen to the horn. Now just note that this is not the default horn. I did go ahead and already change the horn, but here's the bell. Dynamic brake. coupler squeal. And turn on the headlight as well as the ditch lights. And I'll give you a closer up view of that. So there's the headlight and ditch lights. And let's hear the revving up of the locomotive. Now I'll run it at speed step 1. And you can see it runs fairly smoothly. It's a little bit jerky, so to speak, but that could be just that it's right out of the box and it hasn't been run a whole lot. And now for the shutdown sequence. And note that I turned off the headlight and ditch lights and that they don't turn off automatically. So for an MSRP of $315 US, I highly recommend this locomotive. I have a few complaints, not the detail. Detail's nice, runs nice, sounds nice, but I just wish they would use LED bulbs, or LEDs rather. They'd just make the engine over the top for me. I would, and I'm not the only one out there, I know that for a fact. Everybody wants Athearn to switch over to LEDs just as Intermountain did. But other than that, I have no complaints. The front handrail and the back handrail are a little bit flimsy, but that's typical for most manufacturers. Like I said, everything is clear and legible under magnification. And thanks for watching. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I like to keep my reviews straight to the point and as short as possible, but at the same time covering as much detail as possible. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you aren't yet a subscriber, please subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.